Problem number 2. Problem number 2 is multiplying rational expressions, and you can abbreviate, so rational expressions. And yes, you can abbreviate that EXP. We probably could do that on the first one because we're going to write it several times in this set. So multiply rational expressions, and here's what you do. Reduce coefficients. This is similar to one that we did last time. Cancel common variables. Sound familiar?
This one's divide monomial.
Yes. Cancel common variables. Nope. Cancel common variables, top and bottom. Multiply.
Common factors. Nope.
Multiply and rewrite. So the difference from what we did in the past, there was just one thing sitting there that we canceled it. But notice now how there's two parts to this, to each side, because we're multiplying them. So you can cancel anything from the top with anything from the bottom. It can be directly over each other, or it can be like diagonal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel in the problem, and then the hardest part usually in this is seeing what you have left. So try to be as neat as you can be with this. So I'm going to cancel the 15 and the 3, and it would become a 5 up here and a 1 there. So that's reducing those coefficients. Let's switch over to the 14 and the 7. So the 14 becomes a 2, and the 7 becomes a 1. So that's canceling, or I'm sorry, reducing coefficients. Now, canceling common variables. I'm just going to start on the top and go left to right, and don't hopefully not miss any. So I've got 3 x's on the top and 2 x's on the bottom. How many can I cancel out?
1.
I can cancel out all of these on the bottom, and the top would leave a 1x. Okay, I look at the y. There's 1 y on top and 4 on the bottom. So I cancel the 1 completely, and that leaves 3 on the bottom. As I continue across left to right, I see 6 a's on the top and 4 a's on the bottom. So how many can I take out? So those 4 are gone. That leaves me with 2. And then there's 1b on the top, and there's 2 on the bottom. That leaves 1. Now I've got to multiply across, but the hard part is seeing what is left. And you want to have your letters in alphabetical order as they go across. So that might be an issue too. So across the top, I've got a 5 and a 2. So that would be 10. I've got an x and an a. I've got x to the first and a to the second. So I'm going to go a to the second x. And on the bottom, all of the numbers disappeared, but there's a b to the first and a y to the third. That is it.
I don't like this.
It's easy.
It's not that hard.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
So, questions on that?
Miss Walt,
What?
can't you just cancel them as you go across? Like, do you have to write what you canceled on the problem itself?
How are you going to keep track of what you canceled and what you didn't if you don't write it?
You do, like, the top left and the bottom right, you just write it as you go.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. So that makes it
Oh,
easier.
I guess yes. If you could, if that makes it easier, so you don't have so many markings, that would work. Natalie.
Like, will the same variables ever be on like the same, like both on top and both on bottom?
So now we've got the next problem. If I'm looking at coefficients, it looks like the 6 and the 12 become a 1 and a 2. The only variables that I really have to deal with, I have 3 m's on the top and 1 m on the bottom. So I can take out that 1, and this m becomes 2. I have 1 n on the top and 2 on the bottom, so that one's gone. That becomes a 1. So if I go through and collect what I have, I have no coefficients on the top because there's a 1. I'm going to do an a m to the second. The bottom's going to have a 2 and an n.
One at the top.
Have an A?
Alright, never mind. I got you.
Oh, duh.